Death and Dementia video. I think this is 32, so it's been a while. But um, as you can probably figure out, mom and dad are still declining. If you guys are at the beginning stages of dealing with loved ones with dementia, it gets worse. And it's a shit thing to say, but just when you think it sucks worse every day. So mom and dad are at the point now, and I've told you before, dad doesn't recognize my brother and I at all. Sometimes he'll think we're like a childhood friend, so he's polite for the most part. Mom usually recognizes us. Sometimes she's kind of confused as to who we are. But it's impossible to keep up with what goes on in their heads. And the phone calls, sometimes it's 6, 8, 10 phone calls a day. And as a son, when they tell you that somebody's bothering them, someone's doing this, someone's doing that, the first thing you want to do is go fix their problem. And started finding out, making some calls. And at one point, mom called and told me that dad was yelling at staff members and aggressive, and he had to be brought downstairs. And so I called down to figure out what was going on, and nothing happened. It was all something in her head. And she has a new friend who unfortunately also has dementia, and so they kind of dementialize these stories together, and you really don't know what kind of Stephen King novel freaking story they're going to come up with. And you end up chasing your tail a lot because there's, like I said, as you love them, and so you try to investigate what they say is going on. And 9 times out of 10, you just find out that nothing happened. It's just all created in their head. So there's a lot of tough decisions for my brother and I. Watching this decline, it's torture. It's no fun. And you do, we're both human, and you kind of get to the point where you're just overwhelmed with all the different emotions that go along with this. And I feel horrible for other people going through this. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. But when you do feel overwhelmed, what else are you gonna do? You keep moving forward. You pick yourself up by your britches, and get back to it. There's nothing else you can do but move forward and keep caring for them, and try to make their life a little bit better. That's a difficult part because there's really no joy, especially on Dad's part. He just sits around watching, staring at the TV quite a bit. So there's not a lot of joy, and it's harder to watch them kind of in that state. Those are kind of the only updates I have right now because we're kind of stuck in this negative, sad environment. And but it's unfortunate. And I mentioned this in other videos too. If you know someone that's going through this, talk to them. Maybe they've experienced some of the things that you're going to experience, and maybe you can get something out and just vent. These videos kind of help me get some of the things out of my head, and try to have some kind of healthy outlet, exercise, whatever it is, because you're going to need it. It gets bad, and it keeps going downhill, unfortunately. But until the next time, God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.